I realize now that I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys, that the backup quarterback position as it relates to the Minnesota Vikings have left me hella jaded, where I expect nothing but incompetence. That based off of the way that the Vikings have operated since 2019, that they were going to find a way to fuck this up. That even with JJ McCarthy, who's going to be the backup quarterback for JJ McCarthy, it's a big deal. I get it, but they are going to do something stupid because that's how I've been conditioned. And I realize that's a me problem. That is something that I have been dealing with. But in my defense, I will say that maturation is what I've realized, not just to be something in hindsight, but also to recognize in real time that no matter how jaded it is that I am, I can recognize in real time that what it is that I'm anticipating doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be true. That this is a different situation. Kirk Cousins was soft as hell and needed a bum-ass dude that didn't amount to anything worth a damn, that wasn't a threat in Sean Mannion, that the Vikings, the way that they operated, not just as an organization, but also select members of the media. I'm not going to call you out by name. You know exactly who it is that you are. Was shaking your ass cheeks, one cheek at a time, for this dude who was ass. That what happened back then does not have to be the case right now. That Kirk Cousins was a soft ass dude and he needed all the support from somebody who didn't amount to anything worth a damn, talking about a football player. You got, goodness, Sam Darnold, who had Nick Mullins last year. Thankfully, that didn't apply to anything. But that now it's different. What happened in the past does not have to apply to today. That you have now JJ McCarthy, after finally moving on from Aaron Rodgers, knowing that JJ McCarthy is your guy, that with McCarthy, you can now find a suitable backup quarterback. In fact, not only can you find a suitable backup quarterback, the idea of a backup quarterback doesn't even actually matter as far as, well, if JJ McCarthy gets hurt or he struggles, whatever, and somebody has to come in, it doesn't matter. If that is the case, if somebody has to come in and replace JJ McCarthy, your season is over with. But what I will admit is, based off of the circumstances, that things have changed, that JJ McCarthy is going to have the head coach, Kevin O'Connell, to be the leader. Okay, fine. You're also going to have what Sam Darnold had last year as far as the QB coach in Josh McCown. Great. But it doesn't stop there, because now you're having, in 2025, a first-time starting quarterback in JJ McCarthy, who's going to need more support than Sam Darnold had last year after going through 6 years in the league before getting to Minnesota. This is going to be JJ McCarthy's first year as a starter. So you're going to have the head coach, the overseer. You're going to have the quarterback coach, who was a big support for Sam Darnold last year. The backup quarterback, I will admit, is super important, much to where, as much as 24 to 36 hours ago, I didn't give a damn about, because I thought it was going to be a mockery. But instead, you're going to need that extra extension of the two coaches, from the head coach and the quarterback coach, on the sideline right there, as far as a backup. Not somebody that's going to come in and help you fill in with plays, but somebody that's going to fill in the gaps for the moments where you're like, I don't know how to process this. Okay, the QB2, he's going to help you do that. I'm willing to admit that this is a big deal, that whoever it is that they bring in as the backup quarterback is going to have so much of a puzzle piece of success for what this offense is able to do, specifically with JJ McCarthy. It's a big deal. I brushed it off before. I'm not going to do that now. I think it really comes down to two players. That those two players, admittedly, we don't even know if they're going to be the right fit. This is one of those things where we're going to have to trust on Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown to make the right decision. Two guys that I'm really looking at as far as availability right now that sounds the most to me that would be a good fit for this guy, young JJ McCarthy. That's going to be, in my opinion, Ryan Tannehill and Joe Flacco as far as the potential available quarterbacks in free agency. That's going to be the best mode of success, having a three-legged coaching tandem to help out this young quarterback. So I'm very much looking forward. I don't really have a preference between the two. I would say Flacco or Ryan Tannehill, that's good enough for me. But I think with the slim pickings there are left at backup quarterback, then again, it's all about what KOC and Josh McCown feel is best. There's probably some guy out there that we're not thinking about because they don't have as much experience as Flacco or Tannehill that may be just as good. That, again, sticking with the theme of trusting the coaching staff, I'm going to roll with it. That whoever it is that they decide is the QB2, they understand what's at stake here. So it is a big deal, and we'll see what they do with that position. The next position that I want to talk about, really the last position I want to talk about on this video, is wide receiver 3, because they don't really have that right now. They have weapons, but they don't really have that wide receiver 3 that can make a difference right now. Two names that come up top of my head based off of what's left over. And we'll start with what I've seen to be the recent discourse, and that's Stefon Diggs. Do you bring him back? Oh my God, he was so talented with the Vikings. He was talented with the Bills. I'm going to say hell no. F no. Stefon Diggs can get the hell on. I want no parts of this dude with Minnesota for a second act. Get the hell out. You've burned your way through the first two teams that you played for, and I think the only reason that you didn't burn your way through your third team, the Houston Texans, is because you got hurt too early. I have zero interest in this guy. I get that he's talented, and if healthy, he can contribute, but he's a pariah. No question. I don't want him back. However, if you do want to make a move at wide receiver 3, damn it, Keenan Allen. I tell you what, I would not be opposed to that. I think Keenan Allen, what he did last year as a wide receiver 2/3 for the Chicago Bears, was sensational, very productive. He brings a lot of energy, positive energy, not destructive energy that Stefon Diggs would bring to the table. I would like that a lot. And I think Keenan Allen would accept his role at this stage in his career, where he would be the wide receiver 4 after Jefferson and Addison and a healthy TJ Hawkinson. I think he would accept that, would be a really good team player, and it would add to the repertoire of JJ McCarthy. I think this would be a no-lose situation for the Vikings. And I'm also going to throw an honorable mention out there to Amari Cooper. I think he would be a good fit for this team if the money is right. In fact, saying that the money is right is redundant right now. The Vikings still have $32 million in cap. So if you're not going to trade for a guy like Quentin Nelson, for example, or a big name, big money player, then it's like you still have money to make big signings that are going to result in big time contributors for this Vikings team beyond just the starters, whether that's going to be for a wide receiver 3. And if you're not able to trade for a guy like Quentin Nelson, you can still go after a guy like Tyler Booker in the draft at pick 24. You have options at your disposal. I guess just in realizing, starting from the backup quarterback position, that the Vikings aren't done yet based off of the money that they still have, the options that they still have to continue to boost up this roster. 2025 is going to be a sexy year for this Minnesota Vikings team. Your thoughts in the comments section below. We will see you next time, damn it.